Hi everyone, welcome back to my lab and today's video, which is going to be something new that I haven't done on my channel before, which is a palette bingo. I've seen other people do palette bingos on their channel, specifically and most recently, I've been seeing it a lot from a channel called Beaut Bean. She's got a beautiful channel. She loves colorful makeup and so I really enjoy watching her. I will link her down below in case you would like to check her out, since that is where I got the idea from. I don't think she was the original creator, but I wanted to give credit where credit is due, at least for the inspiration. If you're not familiar with palette bingo, basically you take an eyeshadow palette, you assign numbers to all the different shades, use a random number generator to draw shade numbers, and you create an eye look with the numbers that you draw. I just thought it was a really fun way to be creative and try something a little bit new. Now, a brand recently reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to try out some of their products. They said I could pick out an eyeshadow palette and some liquid lipsticks. That brand is Focallure, and I have seen their brand on Nakia Joy's channel, which I will also leave linked down below, and she's actually been given a lot of their eyeshadow palettes really favorable reviews, and I've been really curious about it, so I was really surprised that a brand that would reach out to such a huge channel would also reach out to a small channel such as myself, and I'm super grateful. The palette I chose was the Endless Possibilities palette, and I chose 3 liquid lipsticks as well. So thank you so much to Focallure for sending me these products. I'm really excited to play with them in this way. Right now, the eyeshadow palette is listed for $17 on sale on their website, and each of the liquid lipsticks is $11. They did mention that I could have a discount code that is not affiliated. It's just a discount code if you're interested in checking out the brand, which I will put in the description box down below. They do have free shipping to the United States over a $40 purchase. Everything does come shipped from the People's Republic of China. Now let's go ahead and play some palette bingo. I've been wanting to do a palette bingo on my channel, so when I received this palette from Focallure, this is the Endless Possibilities palette. Look at how beautiful. There's just so many tones in here. I thought it would be a great palette to do a palette bingo with, and so that's what we're going to do. There's 30 shades, and the way we're gonna number is 1 through 6, and so on as we go across. So let's go ahead and generate those numbers. How many shades should we do? Like 6? 5? Let's do 6 shades. Hopefully you can see. Okay, I've set my random number generator from 1 to 30. I have my pen because I will forget the minute I generate. The first number is 12. Then we have 2, 26, 17, 20. That was 5, so one more. 9. So shade number 12 is this shade right here. It's a beautiful metallic called Ruby. I'm gonna make a swatch. I'll show you the swatches in a minute. Shade number 2 is this one right here, Sandy Beach. That one relieves me quite a bit because I can definitely use that one to set my eyeshadow base. It's a perfect shade for that. Number 26 is this beautiful turquoise shade. Number 17 is this shade here, Plum Baby. And this is great because it's a perfect complement, a matte complement to the first metallic shade that was drawn. Oh yeah, that's gonna be great. Shade number 20 is a beautiful blue called Date Night that feels super creamy. And the final shade is shade number 9, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is this shade right here, another beautiful matte, and that one is called Panna Cotta. So here are the swatches of the shades that we drew. It's very hard to see this one because it's close to my skin tone, but we have 6 colors to work with. I like the complement of those 2 and even this one, terracotta kind of color. So we have some options. I could do like a maroon blown out smoky look at the top with a blue lower lash line. I could also do a cut crease and put this beautiful blue on the lid. Well, palette bingos are about being adventurous, so let's go ahead and try that cut crease. I'm going to prime with my MAC paint pot. I'm going to put the shade Sandy Beach underneath the brow arch. That'll effectively set the eyeshadow base on the top part of my lid. I'm going to begin to create my crease with the shade Plum Baby, and I'm just going to stamp it. That was a really great color. So now I'm going to use that shade, the Panna Cotta shade, to blend it out. I'm going to put the metallic ruby shade on the lower lash line. I want this metallic to pop just a little bit, so I'm going to dampen my brush. And just so everything is tied in together, I'm going to go in with that Panna Cotta shade, and I'm going to run it underneath that metallic shadow. I'm gonna cut the crease now, and I think I'm gonna go for a half cut crease. I'm going to use the turquoise shade on the inner half. And then let's try that Date Night shade. And lastly, I'm going to close the connection with that metallic shade called Ruby. That's the basis of the eye look. I'm gonna put on some finishing touches and I will be right back. This is how I decided to finish off the look. I applied wing eyeliner, I put a little bit of glitter in the cut crease area and blue eyeliner, and I'm also wearing false lashes. They did send me some liquid lipsticks, so let's try those on as well. I'm really pleased with the way the eye look turned out. It looks almost like I planned it, but it was just a bingo, palette bingo. I think that was so fun. I think I want to do that with more of my palettes, especially those that I haven't used in a long time. So if you have any suggestions, leave those down below. Here are the 3 lip colors that they sent. I have the shade Ruddy Pink, which is this one right here. I also have Rose Taupe, which is this shade, and Deep Chestnut, which is this one. I'm gonna try them on lightest to darkest because I have a feeling that the darker shade is the one that's gonna look best with this eye look. This is the first shade, and clearly it looks terrible on my skin. It's a very bubblegum pink. It does feel comfortable on the lips, a little bit on the dry side. And I have to say, when applying this shade, it was a little bit patchy and streaky. I think light shades that include white pigment frequently are. And my lips are super pigmented, so I had to go over it a few times to get opacity. And this is the resulting look. So definitely not a shade that I would personally wear on its own, but I can use it to lighten up one of the other shades and maybe get an ombre effect. This one is the shade 14, Deep Chestnut. This one is a much deeper color. It went on with just one dip of the wand, and it took a little while to dry down, but it does dry down fully and is completely transfer proof. I think this might be the color that flatters my eye look the best because it appears to darken a little bit as it dries when compared to the color in the tube. Here's the final shade. This is number 14, Deep Chestnut, and like the shade prior, it applies very well with just one dip of the wand. The formula is actually surprisingly lightweight. Even though you have full opacity on your lips, it is a matte formula, but I would have to say that based on my experience with the 3 different color ranges that I chose, I would stick with the more pigmented, darker colors. The lighter color, unfortunately, didn't work for me, both in terms of the color itself and the formula. It's a little bit different, probably because of the white pigment, and these darker colors are working out much better. Now this one pulled a little bit more red, I would say. I mean, it's called Deep Chestnut. I think I prefer the previous one for this particular look, but taking matte lipsticks on and off is a little bit tedious of a process. It is a little bit difficult to remove. You're definitely going to want to use a remover with this. But so I think I'm going to leave this one on for the rest of the video. Let me know which one was your favorite. I'm assuming it wasn't the first one. My goodness, this color looked terrible on me. So this is your finished look. I love the way that my eye makeup turned out. I'm so excited about it. So fun that it came up sort of randomly that way using the palette bingo. It's a way to really get inspiration for new color combinations that you may not necessarily have tried before. Now, it was my first time using the eyeshadow palette, as I mentioned, and quite honestly, I'm very impressed with the eyeshadow palette. I really like the matte formula. As you saw when I was applying it, it went on full pigment, especially this plum baby shade. I was expecting it to pull maybe a little bit pink, but no, it went on truly red, and the only reason why it has that gradient effect now is because I blended it with the Panna Cotta shade, but the mattes performed for me so well with absolutely no fallout. Now, in terms of the metallics, they do pick up well on a brush, and I would suggest using that instead of using your fingers, because if you press into them, you can sort of create hard pan in the eyeshadows. So I definitely recommend using a brush for the metallic or shimmer shades. But actually, I'm really impressed with this palette, and even though I've only used 6 shades with today's palette bingo, I think that it's good. It's definitely worth $17, and I think the color story is just lovely. So thank you again to Focallure for the lovely gift. I really appreciate it. In terms of the liquid lipsticks, I have to say my experience with the lighter shade was not a positive one. I found that this formula was really drying it and emphasized dry lines on my lips. Again, I think it's because of the white pigment. So if you're interested in trying out their liquid lip colors, I would definitely stick with the darker shades and avoid these ones with the pastel tinge. Now, I intentionally selected my colors like a light, medium, and deeper shade so I can give you my thoughts on the formula, because I have found that even with the same brands, when you go into that shade range, the products can perform a little bit differently. So I would definitely recommend the darker shades, but probably not the lighter shades. I'm really excited with the way that my eye makeup turned out, and it was fun. I think I would like to do a palette bingo on my channel again in the future. If there's any palettes that you would like to see incorporated into this, let me know. I know Beauty Bean does multi-palette bingos where she'll do like all the Lime Crime palettes or all of the Menagerie Cosmetics palettes and then number them that way. It's really fun. I'm glad that I ran into her channel that way and I tried it and I really enjoyed it myself. Let me know what you think of the look that I created, and if you've tried out the brand, I'd love to know what your experience has been as well. Thank you so much for joining me. I had a lot of fun with this video and creating this look. I'm gonna be wearing it in a couple different videos, so I'm glad it turned out well. Thank you for joining me for my little experiment. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to give it a like for me and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, as I would love to have you join me for a future video. Otherwise, I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are, and I look forward to seeing you again really soon on my next one. Bye-bye.